Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 60 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on spontaneity. So, yay for day 60. So I had something in mind that I was going to say that was spontaneous for today, and I don't remember what it was, which is really annoying. So, my my brain does that, it freaks out on things. I did have something else though. I didn't have just one spontaneous thing today. I had multiple spontaneous things today. Oh, I looked things up on the internet. That's what I did. I looked up some stuff on the internet because I was looking up blood pressure. That's what it was. Like why the I don't know the top numbers, the bottom numbers, but when I saw the nurse practitioner, she said that the bottom number is usually high because if there's water retention or something in your body or like extra fluid around your heart or whatever, which is not good. And that causes the top number to be high because the bottom number is high. So you lower the bottom number and the top number goes down. So my bottom number seems to be going down. The top number's gone down a little bit, but it's still a little bit high. So I was just curious why the top number's high. And I think I was looking it up and it said something about systolic blood pressure. So I don't know. I think there's a different name for the top one and the bottom one, and I'm not sure if that's the right one or not. So I was just looking up like different foods or different things that I could do to get that top number to come down. And of course, there are things that I already knew that I'm supposed to do, which would be exercise is one of them, and then potassium is actually something that can help your lower your blood pressure, which I don't know if I'm short on potassium or not, but I do remember being in the emergency room several years ago with a migraine, really bad migraine. And for whatever reason, when I was there, they did some kind of a test to see, I guess, where my vitamin levels or whatever are in my body. And they said that I was really low on potassium. So they tested that, like, let's see what your stuff is at. And they're like, you're just really low on potassium. So they gave me like this giant, like, horse pill for potassium to take while I was there, plus all of the pain medication and the anti-nausea stuff and everything else that they gave me for my migraine. I was like, I'm only here because I got a migraine, but I didn't know I was low on potassium. So ever since then, every time I get a migraine, I think I need to eat bananas or something because they have potassium in them. I didn't realize that potassium in your body, because according to the internet, I don't know how accurate that is, but anyway, I didn't realize that potassium in your body can actually help um, to regulate your sodium levels or your salts in your body. So if there's too much salt or too much sodium, your body can actually retain water, and all of that water retention can cause your blood pressure to go up. So I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And apparently the potassium in your body also can help with digestion and other such things. So potassium is a good thing to have, which is kind of funny because there's potassium, which I think is like vitamin K. But if you look at like multivitamins, they don't have very much potassium in them, or if they, some of them don't even have potassium. And then if they do, it's like less than 50%, maybe even less than 20% that they have of your daily values that you need. So the rest of it you have to get from your food. So I was looking up food that has potassium in it besides bananas, because I know bananas, but apparently spinach has potassium in them, like, which is cool because I love eating spinach. And butternut squash and acorn squash. And I'm like, I love squash and pumpkin. And I'm like, I like pumpkin too. That's pretty awesome. I need to go buy some squash. This is the perfect season for that. So I'm like, I need to get some squash. Also, apparently, spaghetti sauce has like 13% potassium in it, which I would never thought of that. But apparently, tomatoes and spaghetti sauce are really good for potassium. So I was just looking at and making a list of, and there was more. I think there was 10. Like I saw 10 that I wrote down that was just listed on Google, and then there was some YouTube video that had like a different 10. Some of them overlapped, some of them didn't. And some of the stuff that's on there I would not eat. But beets is another one that I would definitely eat and I like. I don't remember what the other ones were. Or potatoes. I actually have potatoes too. So I'm like, oh, potatoes. But they specifically said white potatoes. So I don't know if it's all potatoes or just white potatoes. But I'm like, I like potatoes. I have potatoes. I need to cook my potatoes. So it just made me happy that there's foods that I like to eat, but it's also that reminder to myself that I need to eat healthier foods. I need to buy healthier foods so that my body has the appropriate nutrients and things in it so that it will function properly, so that I don't have to take medication. And I did not take my blood pressure medication today. I actually, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't taken it all week. For the past 3 days, I think I took it for like a week and that's it. And then I stopped taking it. But my blood pressure is not out of control because I check it every single day. And if it was totally out of control, I would totally take my medication. But it's not, so I'm not taking my medication. That's my other spontaneous thing where I'm just like, I'm just not gonna do it. It started out unintentionally skipping it, and then it became intentionally just out of curiosity to see what it would do because I just don't want to be on pressure medication forever. And then I'm like, cool, if I could just, start exercising, because exercise is one of those things too, and including some other things in my diet. If my blood pressure continues to go down or to stay at a healthy level, then I don't think or feel like I need to take the blood pressure medication. So this kind of also leads into my other spontaneous thing that I did today because I was thinking about my sister because I'm no longer on my blood thinners. And I also think that maybe the whole high blood pressure thing in part has to do with my anxiety, the fact that I wasn't writing in my journal, and possibly also because might have been a side effect to taking blood thinners for a long period of time. I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't know if that's actually a side effect, but I didn't have high blood pressure before I was taking blood thinners, and I was on blood thinners for a couple of months before my blood pressure was high, and I guess it was probably slowly getting higher, and then it was just really high, but then I've been off of my blood pressure medication for a week because the doctor told me I was done with not the blood thinner medication, not the blood pressure medication, sorry. But I've been off the blood thinner medication for a couple of weeks now, and I'm just on the aspirin, a couple of days a week to prevent future blood clots, basically. So that's the blood thinner is getting out of my system, and so my blood pressure, I don't know, it's going down. So I don't know if that's correlating with my writing in my journal, I'm making my videos again, like reducing my anxiety levels, big stress levels, whatever, because that's totally dropped it. If it had anything to do with the blood pressure medication, I don't know. Might have, so didn't take that stuff for very long. Or if it's because I stopped taking the blood thinners. So my older sister is having worse side effects and symptoms, and she's been on blood thinners for way longer than I have. And her doctors are telling her she has to be on it for the rest of her life. And I'm thinking that can't be right. There has to be some other antidote. And so she's having all kinds of side effects, and she's going to see other doctors to take medication for the side effects for the blood thinners that she's taking. And I'm just like, so me being me, I kind of realized today that I am very opinionated. Probably should have realized that a long time ago. I think I've always been opinionated. I just haven't always chosen to express my opinions. So today I sent my sister a text message, which was my really spontaneous thing to do. And I told her that I was doing better off of my meds and that she should totally get off of hers. And then she's like, no, my doctor says I have to be on them for the rest of my life. And I'm just like, your doctor's killing you. And she's like, no, I trust my doctor. We've had this conversation and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm just very opinionated the older I get. And if I was in your shoes and I knew that the blood clots were gone and I was having all of these side effects to the medication, I would stop taking that medication. I would find some other medication to take, some other form of something. If I can't take whatever it is, I'm like, I would stop taking that medication. I just would. And, I did with my blood pressure medication. So I'm like, I would. I totally would. I wish that she would, but I'm not a doctor. I don't really have the authority or the place to make that decision, and I can't make that decision for my sister. So I was reminded of my 12 steps. Again, the didn't cause it, can't control it, and it can't cure it. And that I need to keep what they call my side of the street clean, like focus on my stuff, take care of my stuff, and then just let other people live their lives. And of course, I can help and serve and whatever as best as possible. And I can love people for who they are, but I can't control them and I can't make them do things the way that I think they should be done. So and then if I start saying that, I feel like my bus driver friend that seems to think if everybody did things the way that she did them, then everybody would be happy and the world would be perfect. But that's not how it works. God gives us our agency, and I can't take away my sister's agency, and I don't know what's best for my sister. So I just sent her a nice text back and said, okay, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm just very opinionated. I'd stop the medication if I didn't like all the side effects that I was having. But I just told her, I'm like, I know you know your body better than anybody else. And I hope that you find solutions that work for you. So I hope she does. I really do hope she does. I hope she's able to get it all sorted out, figured out with all of her different doctors, get them all coordinated with all the stuff that's going on with her. I also hope that all of that stuff doesn't start happening to me because I don't want to end up with all of the health issues that run in my family or all of the health issues that come with being stressed out, having PTSD, depression, anxiety, and being overweight. So that is another reason why I am looking up different types of foods and things that I can eat so that I can change my diet and do it by changing my diet instead of having a closet full of medication that I have to take and taking medication for side effects for medication that I have to take, because I watched my biological mom go through that, and I don't want to do that. I don't. And I don't know how many times she was in there and she had some side effect to whatever the medication was, and then they gave her some other medication for the side effect of the medication she was on, and instead of changing the medication she was on. So then she had to have these those weekly pill things so you could figure out which pills and which times you had to take them. And she had like 2 different ones of them, and they were filled with like 10 pills a day, and it was crazy. And she had to take them twice a day or 3 times a day. So she had her different ones as to how many times she had to take per day. And then every week she would have to go back through and fill them up again. Because otherwise, and the only way she could make sure she didn't forget to take them is like, I put them in the separate days. So then I'd open up, did I take them today? What day is it? I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to be that. I don't ever want to be that person. I don't ever have to do that with my medications. So I've decided that my medication is going to be, at least for now, it's praying and journaling and naturopathic things as much as possible. However, if I do go get that lab work done that I need to before my doctor appointment on the 29th, and they do tell me my cholesterol is high. They've always told me my cholesterol is high unless I can figure out what foods to eat to lower my cholesterol. But if she wants to put me on some medication for that, I might be okay with that, because that one I know is always sits at the borderline. So the other doctor's like, we're not going to give you medication because it's borderline high, but you're okay for right now. And this nurse practitioner said, we don't like borderline anything, so we're a lot pickier about stuff like that. So I'm like, cool, so if I'm still borderline with high cholesterol, she'll give me some medication for that, which is awesome, because the only food I know for that is to eat olive oil. And I'm like, there's got to be more than just olive oil. I need to research that one too, I think. So anyway, I think for me, my spontaneity was kind of it was looking up stuff to try to make myself healthier, to do things to take better care of myself and my body, which is a good thing. And then I kind of took it to the extreme and tried to tell my sister what to do, which is not a good thing. So God was reminding me that I can take care of myself and not someone else. I don't need to distract myself by trying to fix other people. That's not good. So I just need to let my sister take care of herself and love her and pray for her and trust that her higher power that God has is taking care of her and has a plan for her and knows what's going on with her in her life. And I just need to stay out of that. I mean, I can still talk to my sister and find out what's going on with her, but I just need to keep my opinion about what she should do to myself. Because, I mean, I can express my opinion. I still have my opinion, but she's not going to listen to me. I'm the little sister. So, of course, we both have another little sister. I don't know how she separates the two of us, but anyway, little sisters. Lucky her. She gets to be the oldest. Anyway, I ramble. But I also just appreciate the reminder that I do know my own body, and I get to make decisions for myself and my body, and I get to decide how much I trust my doctors and how much I'm willing to comply with what they tell me to do and how much I'm not. And also I get to decide if it's to my detriment or not. And to be perfectly honest, if I didn't have if I wasn't checking my blood pressure every day and I didn't know that it was okay, I would definitely be taking the blood pressure medication. So, but doing the other stuff without the medication seems to be working for right now. But if my blood pressure gets out of control, I will definitely go back to taking the medication, because I have like a 9-month supply. Well, I have a 90-day supply plus 3 refills, which is crazy. So pretty much an entire year, I think, basically an entire year worth of blood pressure medication. I'm not taking 9 months or a year's worth of blood pressure medication if I can control my blood pressure by getting myself to write in my journal and exercise, because I think those are much healthier activities for me to be doing, much healthier ways to control my blood pressure, and it doesn't have outside chemicals or other things in my body. And I think part of the reason I'm so freaked out about taking other medications too is because I just had weird reactions, and I think a lot more struggles with my depression because of the blood thinners that I was taking. So I just don't like the side effects of medications, especially long-term medications that you have to take, like antibiotics. You take them for a week or two, and you feel better because they get rid of an infection. That's awesome. But and vitamins you take, it's good because they're giving you nutrients and vitamins to help your body heal itself. But some of the other stuff, it has, I don't know what kind of chemicals and things they put in it, but it messes with the balance, my balance in my body. So then you have to supplement all the stuff that it's draining from you to make up for it. And I don't think I was eating enough protein or taking enough of the right supplements or eating enough of the right foods while I was taking those blood thinners, because I just didn't know what to do with it. And of course the doctors don't tell you, they just tell you to take the blood thinners because they're just focused on the one problem. So I am grateful for the internet because I can look stuff up and I can figure out what foods I can eat, what exercise, things like that, because they have those nice little websites to tell you things like that. But I also know that the doctors are there for when I do need the medication, for when the food or natural methods don't work. I can take the other stuff. So I'm not suggesting that people that are on medication go out and stop taking their medication. Again, I know my body, you know your body, and you have to decide what's best for you based on how you feel, between you, your higher power, and your doctors, and not Midge Shoemaker, because as much as I'd like to think that I know everything, I don't. So I think today was kind of that humbling reminder that I don't know what's best for other people, and I may disagree with whatever my sister's doctors are telling her, and I would make different choices, but that's me, and I get to make those choices for me. I don't get to make those choices for my sister, which is sometimes hard for me to not be able to make decisions for other people, to watch other people making choices that I don't necessarily agree with. But maybe it's the best choice for her, and maybe that really is the case for her, and that just really sucks for her, and I am sorry she is stuck with that. But like I said, I would make different choices, but I am a different person, and I need to remember that. So that did not control it. I didn't cause it. I can't control it. I can't cure it. It is not my job, and I need to let it go, which is what is hard for me. But I am grateful for those little reminders today in my little random spontaneousness and my rants. And I also think as I feel better and get better doing certain things, I want other people to do it too. I get excited. I'm like, hey, this is working for me. I'm like, maybe it'll work for you too. And I want what's working for me to work for my sister, to work so that she can be healthy and happy too. But just because it works for me doesn't mean it will work for other people. And some things do. Some things, like my 12-step programs and my religion, I believe, work for everyone, but they work in their own way. And everyone interprets it different. Everyone applies it differently. And it takes a different toll on everyone. The way that the way that they work it is a little bit different. And the stuff that they have to deal with is a little bit different. But anyway, it's entirely up to you what things you choose to do with your life, with your body. And it is not my place to decide what is best for other people. I just have to remind myself of that. So today was a nice little reminder. So my brain's all over the place today. Lots of fun, spontaneous things. So I like that I'm still learning. I do like that I'm still learning, and I do like that I am willing to try to find ways to be healthier and to take better care of my body. And I also am kind of grateful, as much as I hate the whole high blood pressure thing and the whole blood thinners thing, it is forcing me to focus on myself and my body and recognize that I need to take better care of myself so that I don't have to be on medication I don't want to take. So there is that. Anyway, that's what I have for today. My long, crazy, whatever. That's how my brain works. Anyway, if you like these videos, you're going to like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe find something fun and spontaneous to do.